Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you for coming tonight to the Tenor Guitar Foundation's 14th annual Tenor Guitar Gathering. My name is Chris Wessel. I'll be your host tonight, and I want to tell you I am so excited that you've all decided to spend some time with us to come and join us tonight. You know, the Tenor Guitar Foundation has a goal of promoting and preserving the idea of the four-string guitar, and we do that through education and demonstration. And tonight is really, as you can imagine, this will be our demonstration portion, and we are super excited that you have come to help us in that endeavor. I want to take an opportunity, though, before we get started, a few things I want to take care of, and I think Charlene Larson, I'd like to call her up. You are in the Charlene Larson Center for Performing Arts, and we are just super happy with Charlene allowing us to use her facility, and she has a few words for you.
Thank you, Chris. The facility is yours. The community plays here, sings here, acts here, has opera here. The Astoria Lions Club meets here. The Sunset Empire Ham Radio Club meets here. It's a community place. So in welcoming you to the Larson Center and welcoming Tenor Guitar Gathering in Astoria is very dear and close to my heart. There's stringed instruments that you're going to hear. You see that big one right there? It's all about the bass. But again, welcome to everyone who has come from far and near to be part of the 14th annual Tenor Guitar Gathering in Astoria. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Charlene. And you know, we do appreciate that this center is available to us, and it really is. It helps us make this whole event happen, and it's a very important part for us. So, again, thanks. And so I wanted to. Well, our next guest is in Dallas. Yeah, it's not good. I think he got delayed 7 times. He's made several trips to the airport and got turned around each time. And unfortunately, our president, John Halvanik, was not with us tonight. And I have to tell you that I feel really badly for John, because if any of you knew how much time and effort John put into making this happen tonight, you'd appreciate how painful this was for him not to be here. So you know, I feel badly. I know that he wanted to speak with you all tonight and talk to you about some things. So in lieu of him being here, I guess I'm going to have to do that for him. One of the things he wanted to talk to you about was the sponsors for today. We have some wonderful sponsors, the corporate sponsors that helped us out. As you can see from the signs up here, we have Eastwood Guitars, Sori Guitars, Kala Guitars, Gold Tone, Diodario, Band in the Box has been something that has helped us out also, and the Variety Arts Press. And that's just a partial list. We have wonderful donors, the Richards and others who who donate generously to make sure that this happens, and that we can bring to you really quality musicians, which you're going to hear tonight. I was here at warm-ups, and wow. Yeah. I haven't heard some of these people before, and it's really good. You're going to be really impressed, I think. I know that John would have wanted to tell you a little bit about his vision for the foundation. I know he has an interest in growing the foundation and making it, and just growing it throughout not only the community here in Astoria, but throughout the nation and the world. We have chapters all over the United States and internationally. So we're reaching out and trying to get more people involved, and it's one of the things that John is very passionate about, and so I'm sure he would like to talk to you a little bit about that tonight and want to acknowledge that. Lastly, we have someone very special here tonight. We have the mayor of Astoria, Mr. Sean Fitzpatrick, and come on up, Sean, and I believe that the mayor had a few words for you tonight, so I'd like to turn it over to him.
Great. Thank you, Chris. I was really looking forward to meeting John tonight. As Chris said, he has been in contact with me regularly for the past several months. He's been great about follow-up. He was really looking forward to having this gathering tonight and being a part of it, and I can imagine his disappointment when he had to email me today to say that he wasn't going to be able to make it after all due to the storms in Dallas there. So he did ask me to make a proclamation tonight, which I'm happy to do. And I should also state that I appreciate Charlene's comments earlier. The city of Astoria is very proud of both Charlene and the Charlene Larson Center for the Performing Arts. So, whereas the 14th annual Tenor Guitar Gathering brings the world's largest gathering of tenor guitars and other four-stringed instruments to Astoria, and whereas the Tenor Guitar Foundation will provide concerts and workshops for those interested in tenor guitars and other four-stringed instruments, and whereas those attending the Tenor Guitar Gathering will ride the Astoria Trolley and enjoy the scenic beauty of Astoria, including the Columbia River and Young's Bay, and whereas those attending the Tenor Guitar Gathering will enjoy Astoria restaurants, stores, lounges, and the Astoria Sunday Market, and whereas the Tenor Guitar Foundation and KMUN Radio are mutually supportive, and whereas the Tenor Guitar Foundation and the Charlene Larson Center for the Performing Arts are mutually supportive, therefore, by the power vested in me by the Tenor Guitar Foundation, I, Sean Fitzpatrick, Mayor of Astoria, hereby proclaim the city of Astoria, Oregon, to be the tenor guitar capital of the world. And I would ask all participants to recognize such while enjoying the gathering and the natural beauty of the city of Astoria. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Well, thank you so much, and it's always fun to have a proclamation from the mayor. I should tell you, in all honesty, that John was trying to get the key to the city, but the mayor was too sharp for that. He said that the headline writes itself, so that wasn't going to happen. So moving on, we have some awards that we like to give out every year, and it's that time, and we would like to take a moment out to recognize not only one of our members, but also a new young person who we are always excited about. Young people. They are the future, and they are hopefully the future of our foundation and everything else. And so with that, I would like to call out Ms. Donna Josephs, whose brother was the founding member of the Tenor Guitar Foundation, and she is going to give off these, she's going to make the announcements for the awards tonight. Are you there, Donna? Hello? Ah, there you are.
And I would like to call to the stage Corey Peterson to present the Rising Star Award. Corey's wife, Angela, could not be here tonight, but she is a beloved teacher in Astoria, and she writes beautifully about her students. And last year and this year, she selected the Rising Star Award. So welcome.
All right, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? So, my wife Angela could not make it here, so she wanted to greatly apologize. She and I are in the music scene here in the Astoria region for 17 years. We both co-founded the Columbia River Symphony. We've been doing the symphony and the band and the music stuff in the Astoria School District. I'm myself out in the Jewel School District for quite some time. So we're thrilled when we have an opportunity to acknowledge our youth in the community and provide acknowledgement and support for their future here. So I'm going to read a little statement that my wife wanted me to phrase here. So, Angela met Jackie when she was dropped off into her yoga class mid-semester. She was shy, but very pleasant and fun to talk to. And getting to know her, Angela appreciates that she loves her family and knows how to work through challenges. That's really, really important. She has a very healthy and beautiful view of life. After yoga class, Jackie signed up for ukulele class, and it seemed to be a new learning experience for her. But she grew as a musician and loved the process. Angela is excited to see where it takes her in her life with the tenor guitar, and she knows how excited she is for this very, very, very opportunity. So, without further ado, as I'm dropping things in the front here, can we please present this beautiful award, and if I'm correct, am I correct, a tenor guitar, Jackie Davis, coming up here, please. I don't know if you want to say anything about anybody. You don't have to.
I really appreciate this award, and I'm excited to keep learning new instruments.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, we are always excited about having young people, like I said, and this is so much fun. Now, I just want to point out that, you can join the club and tune that, what we call Chicago tuning. And yes, see, there you go. You got fans already. Just don't let any of the performers hear you see that. Anyway, and we have an honor for the Tenor Guitar Foundation. We want to induct somebody into that today. And Donna, are you going to come out and do that for us again? I will. These, yes.
And this,
Very good.
and you'll take the tape off the plaque.
Oh, okay, yes.
I don't know if you've noticed, we have a large Tenor Guitar Hall of Fame Foundation plaque. It's a playable guitar on the plaque, and it's too big to give to the inductees every year. So it's the first time we have a replica, a reasonable facsimile. So for the honorary tenor guitar inductee, Harriet Fix Bomber has been to every tenor guitar gathering but one, with her tenor guitar player husband, Wally. Harriet took over as secretary of the Tenor Guitar Foundation Board in 2016, and in 2018 became the president. Harriet started a newsletter interviewing performers past and present, and made a video interviewing locals and vendors around Astoria. She built up TGG by lassoing in new volunteers with her charm and enthusiasm, and increased numbers in social media. She created the first online tenor guitar gathering during the pandemic. Harriet represented the Tenor Guitar Foundation at the Clatsop County Women's Foundation. She introduced this smart-looking Tenor Guitar Foundation shirt for sale. Her other accomplishments: for over 30 years, Harriet helped raise scholarship money for college-bound students in Tacoma, winning the Regional Volunteer of the Year award for all of her hard work. In Harriet's spare time, she quilts, does water aerobics, and visits family and friends in her RV with Wally. She is our true Wonder Woman, and we're honored to induct Harriet Bomber as our honorary Tenor Guitar Hall of Fame winner. Couldn't ask for a better person. And stay tuned for tomorrow night, where we induct the Tenor Guitar Hall of Fame winner. Thank you.
Oh, look at that, yeah. There you go. Oh, and then we have I know, we are hiding behind the speaker. I am so sorry. There we go. Very
Aren't you
good.
amazed? You're amazed to find out I'm a mere limping mortal after all of that. Anyway, thank you all. The experiences, the fun, the friendships, and the wonderful music have made it a wonderful experience. Thanks.
Thank you. So I do have to share a few things about Harriet. First of all, when I first found out about the Tenor Guitar Foundation, somehow Harriet's number was on the Facebook page. And I called her up, and she says, "Who are you? And why are you calling me?" I said, "Well, I'm calling about the Tenor Guitar Foundation." She goes, "How did you get my number?" I said, "Well, it's up on the social media page." And they took that down the next day. And I have to tell you, so one thing Donna left out of that is that Harriet has been our MC for many years, and this year she just felt that it was more than she could do this year. And Lois, that's the story, but the reality is that the board got together after last year, and they kind of reviewed her performance, and they said, you know, her charm, good looks, and silver-tongued oratory was just a little too distracting from the performances. And so naturally, they turned to me and they said, well, Chris, you don't possess any of those characteristics. Why don't you do this? And so, but I will say that Harriet has done so many things for Tenor Guitar Foundation, and Harriet, you truly are deserving. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to start with Mr. Barron Collins Hill. Yeah. Well, I know Barron hails from a few places, but he calls Portland home now. And he has online workshops and training. He does. He has some wonderful training aids and everything else that he does. And he's a truly interesting player. Fascinating to hear him play. If you're ready, Barron.
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barron Collins Hill.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. Well, this is real fun. I'm excited to be out here. It's my first year. I've been having a great time already. I grew up in Maine, playing a lot of different, mostly Western-focused traditional instrumental music, like Irish music and old-time music and some Quebecois tunes. In Maine, a lot of people just play a little bit of everything. So I kind of grew up not knowing one genre from the next, but then over the years I've gone down the rabbit hole of a few. So that was I think of that as an old-time tune, but it might have earlier roots. That's a tune called Coleman's March, with just some tenor guitar noodles before that. I assume there are some tenor guitarists in the audience. So for anyone interested in the tuning, mandolin's my first instrument, so I tune my tenor guitars as mandolins or similar, or violin, G, D, A, and then a mandolin would be an E, but this is a D, so it's G, D, A, D. That's what a lot of Irish bouzouki players use. So I have spent a lot of time kind of backing up a lot of fiddle players and other instrumentalists, and not done a whole lot of this. So thank you for joining me on my maiden voyage of solo tenor guitar. I'm going to play another tune. Play some Irish tunes. I play a lot of tenor guitar Irish melodies, but I do play a lot of tenor banjo Irish melodies. Unfortunately, I played tenor banjo in a different tuning than this, but I think I can make it work. It's a couple tunes. The first one's called Behind the Haystack. It's got some other names, I can't remember. And then the second one, we'll find out when we get there. Thank you very much. So, I also play, again, coming from mandolin. I play carved top and back mandolin, kind of a bluegrass style mandolin, but I don't play that much bluegrass. So I have an affinity for arch tops, and when I discovered arch top tenor guitars was a thing, I was overjoyed. And then when I realized you could put a pickup on an arch top tenor guitar, I got even more excited. So I've got a little, oh, I'm not plugged in. It's a soft switch. So I'll play you a little, gotta get the right pick for the job here. Play you a tune that I wrote. There's a book called, it's called The Baron in the Trees, no relation to me. It's by Italo Calvino. It's about a young boy who has a disagreement with his parents at the age of like 8 and says, I'm going outside and I'm climbing a tree and I'm never coming down. And he doesn't in this book, and he spends his whole life in the trees and kind of is a adventurer of the over story. It's a really cool story, and I'm not going to tell you what this is about, but if you read the book, you'll know where the title comes from. It's called Cosimo's Flight, that I came out of my head shortly after finishing that book. Turn down just a little. Sweet spot. Thanks so much. All right, I'm going to get my new buddy Matt out here to play some bass. Matt very kindly, about 20 minutes ago, I was like, hey, you want to back me up on something? So we're going to do my last number. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to do a little bit, I'm going to have to do a little bit of tuning. So for the tuning nerds out there, this tenor guitar is tuned on straight fifths, G, D, A, E, except I decided to go down a whole step, so that was actually in kind of an F tuning, but the tune came out in B flat when it should have been in C. If anybody is following me, you're doing better than I am. Next tune is an old-time tune that also kind of got into Western swing land. And I have about a half a dozen versions that I know 80% of. So we're going to play those. It's a tune called The Girl I Left Behind Me. on the bass. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming out. We got lots of good music next. I think we got Jerry Karthy on deck.
Our next performer is Mr. Jerry Karthy. Now, I was scheduling this out and I thought, well, you know, somewhere along the line, if we're going to have a bunch of Irish music, you got to have an Irishman in the middle of it, right? So Jerry is here to give us a reality check of what it's like to be really in the Irish mode. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, I turn you over to Mr. Jerry Karthy.
Good evening. Is it Alfred Hitchcock that says that? So now you know what you're letting yourself in for. The first thing I need to say is I talk too much. So people need to say, shut up and play. Thank you. I'd really like to thank all my friends at the Tenor Guitar Gathering for inviting me back. And it's especially great this year, since the last few years I've been on Zoom with some friends, and there's a lot of them here tonight, and it's great to meet them in person. So that's very special. They're from Portland, most of them. And then my friend Tom from Ireland came all the way from Canada. And so that's kind of unusual. So I have to keep the blathering to a minimum, as I call it. My tenor guitar is made, it's a Spanish style. This is a flamenco body with a 4-string neck. And I lived in Galway in the 70s, playing with a whole gang of misfits from all over Ireland, and the token French and German and American and English man and woman thrown in to the mix. And that's the scene I come from, and the Irish folk musical revival. Now I live in New Mexico, and there's play a lot of Spanish music there, and you know what happens if you're in a place for 40 years? Things get a little kind of mixed up. So I was going to play a new Spanish tune that I'm learning. What I do is I play these tunes that I like, and then I mix them with Irish tunes, hopefully that they sound okay. And I was going to play, I've been playing this for years, so Pete, my friend from Oregon, my sculptor friend who has sculptures all over Oregon, who I met in the pub in Galway in 1980. See, I'm talking too much. In 1982 is here tonight, and I stayed with him in Eugene. So this is a well-known Spanish tune, and I mix it with some Irish tunes. So I have to watch the clock. The hardest part about these gigs is you have what to pick to play. You know, you want to play something. Can I get a little bit of more reverb, Nick, or do I do it myself? Anyway, this is, here we go. Okay, thank you. Now, in the 1600s and 1700s, there was a lot of Irish music played on the harp. So, and apparently at the time, the pop music was from Italy, you know, Italian classical music. So the Irish harpers developed this kind of music, or wrote this kind of music that was influenced by that, but it was Irish music. And they traveled around from town to town and from house to house and played in the grand houses, and there were resident musicians for the people that had a few shillings more than me and you. So, and the most famous of these was a fella called Turlough O'Carolan, who was a blind travelling harper. And I like to play the harp music, and here's two pieces. The second one is called Lady Dillon. And her family lived around County Mayo, where I'm from. In Gaelic, it's called Ceol na Núsal, which means the music of the nobility. So I don't know what I'm doing playing it, but... So how much time have I left?
You got a few minutes. You got 2 more tunes.
Very funny. Okay, let me think. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, here we go. Polkas then. Right. In Galway, among that crowd, there was a fella called Mickey Finn, and he was a great friend, and I was doing 3 gigs a week with him before I went to America, came to America. And he was the main character in the middle of all those characters. But he died, unfortunately, at the age of 35, because he had 1 pint of Guinness too many. And so his dad wrote this next tune on the piano. So it's called Mickey Finn's Ear. And I play it all the time to remember him. And then afterwards, I'm going to play some polkas from County Kerry, which is down in the south of Ireland. And they have a different, they don't play jigs or reels much there. It's all these weird Kerry polkas. 4 to be particular, if I can get away with it on the clock. So Mickey Finn's Ear and 4 Kerry polkas.
That's probably it.
Okay, thanks very much. They're telling me I have time for one more. Can I get a drop of that bottle of water that's there? Trouble with the nylon strings is they go out of tune a lot.
I don't want you to wither away.
No fear of that.
I can tell you the lights up here, they're warm enough, trust me.
Okay, so back to New Mexico. More bad news. I had a friend there, Chris Abeta. He was a local legend, had a Latin band called Lumbre del Sol, and he actually came to Ireland with me 7 or 8 years ago and blew them all away in my hometown. And we were playing together for a few years around Santa Fe at the famous La Fonda Hotel, as mixing the Irish and the Spanish music. And I'm sorry to say he died a couple of years ago. He was great, taught the guitar in the prisons, was a counselor at the community college. He was a legend. And so this Spanish tune is called Mi Ranchito, which I just love. It's a lovely, simple melody. And it's about an old man who loses his ranch. So I play that all the time to remember him. And then the two tunes afterwards, there's a family in Albuquerque that play northern New Mexico music, and they play fiddles and guitars. So I stole the second tune from them. And then Stan Getz, the jazz guitar player, I heard on a record, had a tune called Sambolero. So I kind of threw them all together. Spanish music with an Irish accent in Oregon. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry Karthy. And now, what did I tell you? The whole flavor of the Irish thing comes out with him, doesn't it? I think you really made it happen there, Jerry. Pat is a unique player of both Irish and Balkan music, and he's got some very unique sound, and he's a returning member of tenor guitar gatherings. He's been here before. In addition, we really look forward to having him every year. Well, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Pat, Mr. Pat McWeeny, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Well, you should never, start a set out with a waltz. So I'm going to start off with a Quebecois French-Canadian waltz that I really like. It's called Hommage à Philippe Bruneau, but in the band that I play in, we call it Le Fromage of Philippe Bruneau, the cheese of Philip. So we'll do that, and then I was sort of captivated last year. I hadn't noticed before, but there's a whole Finnish part of Astoria on the kind of southwest side. There's the Finnish meat market, which is now something else, and there's the Finnish Brotherhood, which is now something else. But I'm going to follow that up with Jenko, which is a schottish from Finland. So there's that. Thanks very much. I'm going to invite Baron back out to join me on a couple of Irish pieces. I brought you a chair, but I forgot to set it up because I didn't remember. We can do that. It might. Oh, okay. You can plug in? Oh, excellent. I'm learning so much tonight. So there was a musician from Sligo living in Los Angeles briefly. His name is Seamus Egan. There's a famous Seamus Egan from New York who's a great Irish traditional musician, but this is a different Seamus Egan. But he taught a bunch of tunes to, the Los Angeles Irish scene, which was me. Not just me, but this one, he taught it to us, and shortly thereafter, there's this great tin whistle player, Pat Collins, who passed away. I have always we didn't have a title for it, but I've always thought of it as Pat Collins' Lament, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to do a classic Willie Clancy piping tune from West County Clare called The Humours of Ballylaughlin. Thanks very much. Thank you, Baron. Again, if you'd like to come, we'll be, I think, here tomorrow around one something, hosting an Irish Jam, and we'll make it fun for everybody. So, before I forget, I just want to thank Nick for doing sound. This many musicians is no sound guy's idea of a good time, so thank you. Really want to thank everybody at the I really want to thank everybody at the Tenor Guitar Foundation for putting this on. I shouldn't talk about Mark on a live mic, but he's was one of those guys where you're like, wow, we really have a special relationship, and you realize he had that special relationship with the world. He was just a beautiful, beautiful human. I always paid for the beer. Donna likes to remind me of that. But again, I think Mark would be so proud of what this festival has turned into. So again, to Mark. So. This next piece, I started playing an instrument called a bouzouki. It's not a bouzouki, but a bouzouki. They play them in, the Kurds play them all over Kurdistan. The Arabs play them from Palestine to Lebanon to Syria. I was researching this Mizrahi Jewish oud player from who had played on Radio Jerusalem in the 1920s and 30s. And this next piece is a piece that he played, which I thought was interesting. And then I started researching it, and of course the source recording that was listed as Palestinian or Mizrahi was in fact an Arabic-speaking Armenian from Syria singer. And then I researched the tune a little more, and it actually dates back to 13th century Andalusian, Arab Spain. So it's a beautiful, beautiful love song, and it's My Lover Swayed. Thank you. I'd like to invite Matt up. We're going to do some Macedonian folk dances. I can't see her, but I'm assuming that's Carol. The first one is Jovana Jovanka, which is it's a wholesome love song, because the next one is, the one after it is not so wholesome. It's a wholesome love song in which a young man pines for Jovana, who is washing white linen in the Vardar River, and how he loves her, but the parents won't let him because he's poor, and there you go. And then we're going to follow that up with another tune. And the second one, the actual lyrics, is a young man wishes he had a shop by the town water fountain so that he could watch all the girls fetching water. So not cool, boys. So Matt and I ran these tunes earlier. I don't think you knew that was coming. So you're welcome, Matt. I'm here for you. And this is Los Angeles is a big place, and I don't wish it on anyone, but you can drive from downtown to the beach and eat every state of Mexico, pretty much every country on earth, as you drive down Olympic or Wilshire or Santa Monica Boulevard. But I get to play a lot of different music for ethnic communities and for old hippie folk dancers, and these particular tunes, I've played these for up to 200 and some odd people on a dance floor, and everybody sings along. So if you know, more power to you. So these are in 7, and if you come to my Balkan 101 workshop tomorrow, I will teach you how easy it is to actually play in these weird time signatures, which tend to be 7 and 5 and 9 and 11, and there's one in Sedidanka, or there's a Sedidanka from southeast Bulgaria called that's in 2516. But this is just 7, Matt. Thank you. Would like to welcome Tim May to the stage. You'll get to hear Tim do lots of harder stuff than this tomorrow, but he's slumming it today, so there you go. That last piece, by the way, I read an interview with Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, and that last piece was the inspiration for Uncle John's band. For those of you who are Deadheads, I don't quite hear it, but people assure me that that's a thing, and it was in print, so it must be true. This next piece is Marash Bar, which just means a dance from the village of Marash. The village of Marash was wiped out during the Armenian genocide. I'm just full of great stories today. But this tune made it to the town of New Marash in modern-day Armenia. And I learned it from a recording of Divan Gasparian, who passed away a few years ago, but a fabulous duduk. It's like a double-reeded Armenian traditional instrument. So we're going to do Marash Bar. And I might get the boys started on the rhythm, but then I'm going to switch to kaval, which is the instrument that really brought me to Eastern, to Balkan and Near Eastern music. It's a tube. You make the embouchure with your mouth, and it's usually translates as shepherd's flute. But yeah, we're going to try that. So there we go. Sorry, I was giving my mic to Tim, but. They're really good. Thank you very, very much. We're gonna do one more, and then we'll bring up Lowell, and yeah. So I'm gonna do a short Irish air. It's usually translates as "Lament for Limerick." It's actually translates as the dead of Limerick. And I've heard it dates from a battle, but I believe it dates from An Gortamór, the great famine. Famine has been used by empires for absolutely ever to starve out populations, and the British and Ireland were no exception. During the height of the famine, 80% of the wheat and meat was exported to feed the British Empire, while the Irish starved. So good times. Probably as good as it's going to get for right now. And we're going to follow that one up. I did this next one last year too, I think, and I taught it in my Native American fiddle tunes for tenor guitar class. That really happened. And it comes from Jamie Fox, who's a wonderful fiddle player. She's a veteran of the Sioux Honeybee Collective and the United States Air Force, and a magnificent fiddle player from the Fort Belknap Reservation in northern Montana. And this, the reel we're going to finish with is called White Buffalo. And again, I just want to say thanks to Barron, thanks to Matt, and thanks to Tim for joining me tonight. So.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you go, Mr. Patrick McWeeny, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to our final performer for the evening, and that performer is Mr. Lowell, a.k.a. Banana Levinger, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there he is. Lowell's, he played with the Youngbloods back in the 60s and is obviously well-known performer, and we're really glad to have him here. So in case you were wondering, yes, he is playing a 5-string, 4-string guitar.
I added a 5th string, a 5th below the normal C string of a tenor guitar, so a tenor guitar goes. So if I add a bottom string, which gives me access to the tonic, that's what a tenor guitar does. I can go.
Very cool.
Boom chick, boom chick.
Well, there you go.
It's very
And so
necessary.
That's the intro to his workshop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lowell Banana Levinger.
Thank you. Matt Weiner on the bass. Theirs is a pretty house, theirs is in a pear tree, full of pears is for their birds, you see, and they live in a tree, so they never need ladders or any stairs is. Theirs is a pretty house, theirs is, and they never have no worries or cares is. Their pears are free to birds, you see, so they never have to run away from bears is. Theirs is a little house, theirs is, with little bird tables and chairs is. Did you ever see a house as free around here or any other wheres is? Thank you. I love that song. It's like a children's song, Birdses. It was written by Dino Valenti, the same guy who wrote Get Together. It's the same changes, too. Well, here's a song about a motorcycle. It's a very special motorcycle. It's a 1952 Vincent Black Lightning. James, that's a fine motorbike. A girl could feel special on any such a like. Said James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning, 1952. And I've seen you at the cafes and the corners, it seems. Red hair, black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind, and down to Box Hill they did ride. Said James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand. But I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. I've fought with the law since I was 17. I've robbed many a man to get my Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22. But I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, well, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, called Sergeant McCree, for they've taken young James 80 for armed robbery. A shotgun blast to his chest left nothing inside. Come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she got to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he's running out of breath. But he smiled to see her cry, said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Said James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a Vincent Black Lightning and a red-headed girl. No Nortons and Triumphs and Indians won't do, because they don't have the soul of the Vincent 52. Then he reached for her hand and he slipped her the keys. He said, I've no further use for these. I see angels on aerials in leather and chrome, swooping down from heaven for to carry me home. Then he gave her one last kiss and died. but he gave her his Vincent to ride. The Vincent Black Lightning, 1952. Well, here's a song about a rare bird. Well, sometime I wonder what makes women love men. Then I look back and I wonder what makes men love them. Well, for working, I'm too lazy, and begging, that's too low. Train robbing, that's too dangerous. So a gambling, I did go. I played card in England. I played cards in Spain. I'll bet you 10 euro I'm gonna beat you the very next game. I'm gonna build me a log cabin on the mountain so high, so I can see Willie as he goes flying by. I'm gonna build me a log cabin on the mountain far away. I'm gonna live there with my true love up until our dying day. I'm gonna get me a shotgun just as long as my arm. I'm gonna shoot down everybody that has ever done me harm. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, but she never hollers cuckoo till the 4th day of July. Yes, a cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies. Yeah, she'll ask you no question, and she'll tell you no lie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Back in the early 60s, there was a group called the Holy Modal Rounders. They consisted of Steve Weber and Peter Stamfell. And they were a major contributor to my musical education and my general delinquency. They helped get me out of the Army. We were called to the draft, 1964. We hitchhiked, me and my buddy Michael Caine hitchhiked to New York, and we slept on Peter Stamfell's floor for 3 weeks, eating nothing and consuming everything you can possibly think of to alter our realities. It worked. I learned this song from them. It's about a riverboat gambler. Sailing down the river to New Orleans, getting my money by the gambling room, going from town to town, come and lay your dollar down, bound to lose, bound to lose. Bound to lose, riverboat gamblers bound to lose. A wheeling and a dealing, round she goes, round she goes. The money comes and the money goes. Listen to me, people, if you want the news, let me tell you the news. Riverboat gamblers bound to lose, bound to lose, bound to lose, bound to lose. Riverboat gamblers bound to lose. Here comes Susie with her hair piled high, with her hair piled high. Sister Sue, he's watching your eye. The hokers and the hustlers follow her around, follow her down. Come and lay your dollar down, bound to lose, bound to lose. Bound to lose, riverboat gamblers bound to lose. Frozen faces, fancy clothes, fancy clothes. The money comes and the money goes. With the moon and the stars, sometimes I feel he's not, she's not, it's not a real, it's not a real, it's not a real, it's not real. He's not, she's not, it's not a real. Bound to lose, bound to lose, bound to lose. Riverboat gamblers bound to lose, bound to lose, bound to lose, bound to lose. Riverboat gamblers bound to lose. Matt Weiner on the bass, folks. Yeah. Thank you. All right, well, you might know this next one. This is going to be the last one of my too long set. We're running way over here, but hey. So you might know this one. If you want to sing along on the chorus to help us out, it would be really nice, providing you sing in tune. The verses, I got them covered. Don't worry about that. But the chorus could use a little help. Love is but a song we sing. Fear's the way we die. We can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, we may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Yeah. Some may come and some may go. We will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the ground. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. We hold the key to love and peace, all in our trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at our command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now, right now, right now. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lowell.
Grazie mille.
Mr. Lowell Banana Levinger, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
The grand finale. You might know this one too. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday. shall live in peace. We shall overcome someday. Thank you. All right, Matt. I think that might be enough, or should we still do another one? Yeah, we'll do another one. So this was going to be hard times, I guess. They scheduled 2 encores. I'm a very obedient guy, and we're going to do 2. There's a similar song. I'll tell you a little bit about it. This is a protest song. You know, there's lots of protest songs these days, but this song was written in 1858. That's a long time ago. And in those days, in 1858, there was a huge disparity, a vast difference between the very, very rich and the insanely impoverished poor.
Wait, what?
That was in 1858. Nothing has changed, right? So this was written by Stephen Foster. Let us pause from life's pleasures and count its many tears as we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a song, a sigh for the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days you've lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard time, come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music bright and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. While their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a song, a sigh for the weary. Hard time, come again no more. Many days you've lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard time, come again no more. There's a pale, drooping maiden who toils her life away with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. While her voice could be merry, she's sighing all the day. Oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a song, a sigh for the weary. Hard time, come again no more. Many days you've lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a cry that is wafted along the angry waves. It's a wail that's heard along the shore. It's a murmur that's whispered around the lonely grave. Oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a song, a sigh for the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days you've lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard time, come again no more. Oh, hard time, come again no more.
Thank you, folks. Thank you, guys. All right. Have a great evening, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, your performers for the evening. Wonderful. Thank you.